Hey! It'll never get old. See, I picture I'm talking to one specific person out there, just rambling on about whatever I ramble on about, but one of you guys I'm thinking about right now, and I'm just talking to you. So the other people who are watching this are going to be jelly because I'm talking to one person. Not really, but... and I'll never be professional. I have a professional job. This ain't it, obviously. So I spent some time in the Lego room today, and a little bit more time this weekend. Oops, here, let me knock some stuff off the wall. I need a footrest. That's the issue. So I spent some time in the Lego room trying to get on top of the mess that is my Lego room right now. And I have made some reasonably difficult decisions to take apart stuff and just sort it back into the collection because it's not doing anything for me and I don't have space to display, and I just want everything up off the floor. So that's I did a huge amount today. I sorted out all these boxes. They're now empty. These were all full, so I now have a stack of empties, and then under my desk hasn't changed that much. I still have those bins from the old layouts and some pieces that need to be washed and sorted, and I'm going to be making videos on those because they're Value Village finds. But I wanted to give you guys a heads up that I've been working on Lego room, not actually building. I might do some building later tonight. I'm debating. I don't even know what time it is right now. So, I should have checked my watch beforehand. But in my cleaning up, I came across stuff that people might be interested in, and that basically is instructions. And all these, very few, well, I guess a few of them I bought off the store shelf because they're new, but mostly these came in lots that we acquired either at VV or Facebook marketplaces, because every once in a while we will, and I can't find them now. Oh, there it is. Over here. Every once in a while when we get a lot, it comes with instructions, which is kind of neat. My only thing is that overall I already had them, not the instructions, well, the instructions too, but I had the sets. But I'll show you because I think it's pretty interesting. So we found a lot of the board. I gotta get a better table. I knock it and the camera goes shaky. We found a lot of, not now, but a few years back, we would go to Value Village, and I don't think there was a time we were at Value Village where we didn't find one of those games, those Lego games, board games or whatever. This is called Ramsey's Pyramid. Bought it for parts. And this is the set, the box. It was the original box too, and had all the parts to Ramsey's. But it had some extra minifigs in there, including Wonder Woman and Superman. So that was awesome. So extra pieces, they had to be washed. They were a little dusty, but and overall, I think there was only the one game that I still have from that entire era of Lego making these games with the dice and stuff. And it's a frog game, and where you have the four sides and you have to get the frog to the other side, and there's a bird that will eat your frogs and whatever. That was a fun game. Josh and I played that a little bit. Other than that, didn't play too many of these games that they came out with. I tried a lot of them because I found a lot, and we actually bought some off the store shelf when they were in deep discount. And there's another one, the same one. This is how to build it. So that's gonna go to Jeffy. This one, I never actually owned this one. This came in a lot, and I just found the pieces and I took apart what was left of R2, and I resorted in my collection. A couple city sets that we did buy from the store for Josh. This is an old Technic set that I got from a Facebook marketplace. It was in one of the bins, and I didn't bother trying to build the helicopter. I just sorted the pieces into the collection. But I'd never owned this one when I was younger. It's a cool one. It has some moderately okay building techniques for Lego. We already talked about this brochure from 1983. Somebody wants it, call Jeff when he gets it. What's this? Oh, the motorcycle thing. So yeah, we just bought two of them when we were over at the Brick Shack. And this one, see, I am torn because I think I don't know if I gave Jeff my copy. I don't know. Of course, I bought this one from the post office when I was a kid. Both of them, 105 and 107. This is 105, yeah. These are very, very good condition, except this little corner here is torn off. I don't need the instructions. As I say, I'm not a guy who keeps instructions, but so this, I don't believe this is my original. I don't think I have my original anymore because I don't have any instructions overall. So I don't know. I will probably send this one to Jeff, just because if it stays here, it's just gonna rot. Honest to goodness, it's just gonna rot. So if you want it, check out Jeffy's Prickling Store. This one, obviously, one of my favorite sets, and I got it in the second lot. And the last time my parents bought me Lego, blah blah blah. I won't bore you with that story. Okay, a little torn in pieces, but overall, I've seen worse. So somebody wanted this one. I got this in a lot a long time ago, and I was up here on the shelf, and it just sits there, right? I want to show you this because this is kind of interesting, a little bit interesting. The instructions show what I always call the 1 and the 2 finger hinge right there. The first year it came out, 1982, I think this is 82. Yeah, 1982. It was a 1-2 finger hinge, and then it became, after that, the 2-3 finger hinge. I only have one complete 1-2 finger hinge. I have 3 spare 2 finger hinges that would fit the 1 finger hinge. But I don't have any more 1 finger hinges, so whatever. It's just odd how that happened. But I have like 5 or 6 or 10 copies of this. And they all have the 2-3s because I don't care. I actually have 2 up there right now, and the rest are stored. And again, I during my sort, I found out I had like 10 more tires, so I could build yet another one. And they had the axle pin that's not friction, and so I was thinking about it, but no. So this is going to Jeffy for sure. We got this for Josh just a little while back. I think you can still buy this in the store. I can't remember. But we got this at TK Discount out in Brantford, Ontario. And what they do is they buy skids of stuff from Costco that doesn't sell, or whatever, the boxes are damaged or whatever it is. And so we go there sporadically and we buy some food stuffs, buy some camping stuffs. But the one time we've been out there, 3 or 4 times now. The one time there was a whole shelf full of Lego, including multiple copies of this set and multiple copies of the 4x4, the Ford, and some friends and some other stuff. And I searched it up online, and this was still in the store, and we got it like half as much from TK's. And the box was okay. It wasn't opened. That's all I cared about. The box was pretty beat up, though. Well, smashed in one corner. And Josh and I had a great time putting this together. And as a matter of fact, I still have... we never put the stickers on because we wanted to build it first and then think about the stickers afterwards. But the instructions going to Jeff, because again, I can get them online. Another one, the same helicopter. Okay, I didn't realize that. So I guess I have 2 copies of this. This one's a lot better than the other one. Again, that was a used lot that we got. This we bought Josh from the Lego store, and he put it together while we were at Swiss Chalet last month. Fantastic. Still in package. Because I have mine from my first set that I opened. So I have, mine, which I'm not going to give to Jeff. I'm going to keep this one. I don't need 3 copies though. So this one in mint in package. It's going to Jeff. But wait, there's more, because I have 2, 3. This is going to Jeff. So Jeff's going to get 2 mint in packages. I bought this. Sandy bought this for me. This was a fun build. This was a lot of fun to build. It's right there on my shelf. And it showed up in my display for one video. That was great. Buzz. This guy is missing half. Just the bottom half here. Just missing the whole top half. I don't know if Jeff wants it, but I'll ship it in there and kind of hide it. Maybe he won't see it. Same with this one. I mentioned this one in the last. I just got this in the used lot a couple weeks ago. It's missing the bottom page. Pretty beat up. Another city set that we bought Josh when we were out there. A Minecraft set. This actually came in a used lot, not from the store, because we buy Josh Minecraft sets. but this one came in a lot that we got off of Facebook Marketplace. Now we get to the nitty gritty, the fun stuff, the stuff that I absolutely adore. Again, lot, not mine. Mine went to Jeff, or I sold mine years ago. Either way, I don't have these instructions from mine. So this came in one of the lots that we got. Moderately good condition, a folded corner on the front. And see, this is how I described it when I used to do it on eBay. I would say page 1, folded corner, 4 inches long, and I would take a picture, a little tiny tear, blah, blah, blah. The spine, a little bit worn. I would give specific details. But again, going to Jeff. And then we get to this one. Yay! The 926, also going to Jeff. Now this one's got a crease here, blah, blah, blah. But you can see this is the later version of the 926, not the first year, but the second year, because this got the crater plate. So this is not the original instructions. This is the crater plate version. Now, what I do wish continuously, and you can see these are actually pretty good. The guy I bought this off of is a collector like myself, and I love the guy. He's great, and I went there to his place numerous times to buy a classic face. I love these dioramas that they used to have. I miss these dioramas, and they don't do them anymore. Of course, they don't have tons of classic space anymore. I mean, they came with the Galaxy Explorer, but that's about it. But there's a Galaxy Explorer, there's a rocket launcher, there's a little satellite, there's a mobile tracking, there's the 926, there's a 928 little building, and of course, there's my favorite little ship in the sky, the 918. So there's actually no 924 in the picture, and sorry, go back this one. 924. There's no 924 in the picture, and yet this is the 924 instructions. So, but this is the 926 instructions, and the 926 is right there. So, cool. Pretty good condition. Going to Jeff. Again, I got this in a used lot. These are basic. I won't say mint, because you can see there's a little tiny fold there in the top corner. There's a little tiny crease there. There's never seen a crease in a fold. A fold makes the paint come off, the ink come off. A crease is just a crease. There's no actual paint damage or ink damage. I love this set. I love the instructions. This is one of my favorites. Everything's my favorite. But this is very, very good condition. Going to Jeff. And then the other one. This one is a bit of a thing. This is the one I got. I'm trying to remember if this is the one I got when we went out to St. Catharines for dinner. Sandy and I went out to St. Catharines for dinner. As you can see, the instructions are a little torn on the back, the last sheet. Again, diorama. The supply depot, the one I just built, and then the 6950 in the background. I can't tell if it's 1 or 2 or 3 finger hinges. The 6980. Fantastic. The 6890. I like how they changed that up. 6890, 6980. I always love that because they are. I thought these were a worthy successor. I mentioned this in my video when I talked about these two. I thought those two were a worthy successor to the 918, 924, 928. My only regret for Lego is that's it. These two are thematically built the same, in the same color scheme, the same wing kind of layout, the same everything, and then that's it. There are other white wing trans dark blue ships, but they do not match these two at all, which is a little bit of a shame. I wish they ran with this more. I mean, I did like the old classic blue gray trans yellow, but I loved the white blue trans dark blue. And then of course they had the alternate colors of minifigs, because the originals only had white and red, and these ones had yellow and blue wasn't out yet. Blue came out in this is 1980. Printed in Germany. Huh, anyway, 1983. So this is 1983. Yellow was available. Yellow came out. The yellow minifig came out in 82. Again, if I remember correctly, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure you will. Blue didn't show up to 1984. The year after this, and black came out in 85. So there's the 5 colors at the end. But anyway, this one's a little more beat up than the 6985, but still moderately okay. It's got this big tear in the back, and that's kind of sad. And then this guy, I don't need him. All these instructions are online. The stuff that you could build with the control center, really, really cool. And excuse me. And I did something like that even back in the 4.5 motor days. As I said, I connected to my Commodore 64. Fun, but I'm not going to build this ever. So all this is going to go to Jeffy. So check on his website. I don't know when I'm going to get it to him. Don't bother me. Don't at me, bro. So, because I don't know when I'm going to see Jeff to give him these instructions. And I think I have some more somewhere else. But I can't seem to find it right now because, again, I'm still cleaning the room. But I have a pathway now, which is a good thing. But I don't see any more instructions. I did find this whilst I was cleaning up. And for those of you who do not know, and this is going to be a bit of a tangent, it has nothing to do with Lego. Let's just like zoom right in. So there's me. I want to say, this is me with hair. I'm trying to figure out how old I would be in this picture. It's got to be 30 years ago. So I'd be like, well, no, not 30 years ago. Well, 25 years ago. No, because I'd be 30. So yeah, maybe 30 years ago, 30 years ago. So this is the Endeavor. Have you ever heard me talk about the Endeavor? It says right there on the side. I painted that. My buddy John and I built the submarine. Yes, this is a submarine. People sometimes don't believe us when we say we built a submarine. So there it is. We even had to build a custom trailer for it. This is at the Florence Marina in Grimsby, and we put it in the water, and we had a fun time, and it just whatever. It didn't work. It worked as much as we wanted it to work. We could have put a lot more effort to it, but then life happened, and so this is sitting in his backyard rusting away. There's actually a tree growing through it now. So really quick synopsis: we got 12 2-volt deep cycle batteries that were used in a hospital backup facility. So they're the X-sides, and they're about 18 inches tall, about 5 inches thick, and about 12 inches wide. We got about 12 of those, and we refurbished them. We took them over to a place in downtown Hamilton that takes care of these batteries, and we had them refurbish them, and there was some good voltage. Well, 24 volts. There was good amperage. That's the right word. There was some good amperage coming out of those when we connected them together, and then we had a 24 volt motor, and then we had it running with bike chains and bike gears to two axles that were in waterproof bearings, and then we had the big blades in the back, and then we had Venetians behind that for steering. It was a complete ad hoc thing, straight up. It was completely ad hoc. Not too much planning and not too much physics, because neither one of us are engineers, and we didn't try to calculate the weight of displacement of the air and how much weight we would need, but we did put some cinder blocks inside that thing to get us to sink, and it wasn't a 1 atmosphere submarine. We had a bunch of scuba tanks in it, and so the lower you go, the pressure of course increases, Boyle's law. We would pump air into the submarine to keep the pressure inside equal to the pressure outside. So it was not a 1 atmosphere. It's more of a bathysphere. No, not even a bathysphere, because the bathysphere has inside pressure of 1 atmosphere. It was a bell, a diving bell that moves around. So it was fun, and honest to goodness, my buddy John taught me how to weld, and it was a joy to do. And let's see if I can actually find that while we're talking about it, because now that I'm cleaning up the room, I'm finding all this old stuff. So my buddy Andrew, he shows up with his camera, and he's a professional photographer, and he takes this picture and he sends it off to get blown up. So this was on my wall when I lived on my own. So there's me and my buddy John and his cousin Annemiek and his sister Lisa sitting nicely on top of the submarine. And there's a little pickup truck pulling out of the water. So this is what I used to do with my life. and there's a video somewhere on my YouTube channel, like long time ago. Because not only did we build a submarine, we actually did build a diving bell, but it wasn't a diving bell in the conventional sense. It was a underwater house that we bolted to the Canadian Shield. So it was about 6 by 8 by 6, garden shed size. And we took it up north. I won't tell you where. We took it up north, and we had bolts welded to all the way around the perimeter, and the bolts had T-bars that went into 45-gallon drums. And then mostly John, what we did for a couple summers was we filled those barrels full of rocks and sand so they were full, and then we bolted the what we called the base to that, and then we pumped air into it. and the bottom of the base was about 45 feet of water, so that's pretty deep. Like it's hard to dive down with one breath and go inside, because we had this little entrance on one corner, and so because there's a floor, obviously there's a floor inside the base, and so we put a lot of effort into it, so a lot of good effort into it. And what had happened, I love stories like this, regaling the world of our tales of woe. So I was there for most of it, and I was there for the part where we had it bolted to the 12 barrels, 45-gallon drums, and we were pumping air into it, and the air bubble inside the base was about halfway down the wall before we had to go home for the weekend. I wasn't up there the next weekend when they had it completely full of air, because there was compressor on the ground, and we had this garden hose going down to the base, and it was all day long, just pumping air into the base. And of course, as the air went into the base, the water went out the floor, out the hole in the floor. So there was a time when I wasn't there for it, and I feel bad, I think I was probably working or something, that there was 3 or 4 of my buddies in the base, completely dry. Right, and they're eating apples. And what they told me afterwards is that we found this, like, you can't whistle under pressure because 45, you're over 1 atmosphere of pressure in there, so like that's something, because it's over 33 feet. You can't whistle there. You can't. And of course, then what happens is that we're up there for a couple weekends later, and I'm having a nap on the couch, which is what I want to do back then. And all of a sudden my friends come in, "Hi, Dave, wake up, John's dead." My buddy John. And what they had seen, because they're all just sitting there shooting the breeze outside, having a few wobbly pops, and they said there's a huge bubble bloop, came out from where the base is, and they saw it, and John was down there, and they said, "John's dead." And I said, "John's not dead." So what I did is I got my dive gear on. Took me a while to get, because it was still wet from the morning, and I go down there, and John waves me over, because we don't have the mask where you can talk to one another, the old school scuba diving. He waves me over, and we go to the base, and he points to the window, because we have windows in the base, and they're only like 2 inches high by 6 inches long, and plexiglass, like 1/4 inch plexiglass. The one window at closer to the top of the base, when we were doing the welding of the steel slightly warped, and the plexiglass doesn't like to warp. So, but when we bolted, we siliconed the window like 2 inches all around, and gooped it and then we put the screws every inch all the way around, nuts and bolts. That one plexiglass obviously was under some tension anyway, because it was on a bent piece of steel, like a little bit of a curve, and it just went poof, blew out. And so within 5 seconds, all the air comes out of the base. And they thought, and the people on the ground saw this huge bubble of air come up. And then, what are you going to do? Now it's on 45 feet of water, and now we can't unbolt it to bring it up to fix the window. But we tried, because we went back the next spring in March. Got our dive gear on. John and me got our dive gear on, and we go down, and one of us has to be inside with vice grips to hold on to the nut, and the other guy has to be on the outside with the screwdriver. Now, this is March up north in the water. There's still ice flows going by, and I am freezing, and I'm inside the base. And the base, let me just tell you, there's no electricity. It's dark. There's only these little tiny windows that are letting a little tiny bit of light in, because you're in 45 feet of water, and it's a spring runoff and whatever. So it's dark and it's dank, and I'm absolutely freezing. And I can barely use a pair of vice grips. My hands are so cold, and I'm like using both hands as the close. Doing any kind of work underneath the water is tough enough. If you watch these guys who carve pumpkins of pumpkin carving contests underneath the water, I've done it. But this is March, ice flows. I'm inside the base. He's outside the base with the screwdriver. So eventually we go around, we get the 20 bolts off of it, the 20 nuts and bolts off it, and then we pry off, because it's silicone, we pry off because we need a template, basically. We need a template to go make another window. So we did that, and we went back in the summer and we put the window on. This time we couldn't use silicone, obviously. We used the stuff you put in the window doors, the whatever you call it, and we bolted it down again. But it never held air quite the same way. It would always leak out. And by that time, it was already starting to rust, even though we trim-cladded the crap out of it. So it's still up there. It's a great dive site. Just don't go inside because all the edges are rusty and whatever. But it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this. I had a lot of fun with the base. My buddy John and I had lots of fun over the years doing all this stuff, as you would do with, you know, you're single and no attachments, and throw caution to the winds and see what happens. Now it's like, I don't feel like doing that. So anywho, that's a quick story, half an hour. As I say, these instructions are going to Jeff. I'll probably find some more. I don't know where yet, but I did find these things cleaning up the house, so or cleaning up the Lego room. So I thought I'd regale you of stories of my youth, my indiscretioned youth. This is what I used to do for fun, because don't drink, don't smoke, don't do drugs. I wasn't much of a womanizer at all. So I had to have a bad habit, and one of my bad habits was just doing stuff like this, and it was lots of fun, and I have lots of good memories about it. So this is alternate to my Lego fun, and I thought you guys would appreciate that. So that's it. That's all. I'm gonna go hang out with the family. I think I've done enough sorting for tonight and enough finding stuff for tonight. Lovely set. So that's it. That's all. You guys all stay safe. Take care. It's back to work tomorrow for me, but we'll handle another week of it. I might spend some more time down here, but you guys take care. I'll talk to you soon.